Bring it back.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator. So this week we're going to be doing another story mission. I'm now up to level 11, and that's sort of given me access to another story mission. I believe, I've not really looked into it yet, but someone's managed to damage their 4x4, so I suspect it's going to be a lot of suspension work and that sort of thing. And hopefully that will get us close to level 12, because then at level 12 we get another garage upgrade. So that gives us another lifter, access to the warehouse. I've seen that in some other people's videos. More parking spots, etc. So hopefully we'll start to look a bit more professional. Hopefully they'll clean up some of the crap on the floor as well. So let's accept this contract, like so, and then let's have a look what we need to do. Normally on these story missions we don't get told any of the problems. So, no. Wow, so body part damage, I can do that, that's not a problem. And then it's just a case of probably going to be suspension damage if she got a bit aggressive. So, let's take it to the path test. As the first thing first, quickly run over here. Proceed. I don't know why these cars always take a long time to start when on the path test. It's just strange. So we'll just quickly run this. It's not foolproof, but it can be quite an effective way of sort of spotting bushing problems and things like that, because they're pretty hard to tell on the bushings without taking them all off. And it's going to save a lot of time later on when you're trying to find that one part that you can't quite see. Okay, so yes, it's picked up some of the bushings, things like that. Not got all of the parts certainly, but it's got a few. So let's put the car back to the lifter and head back through. Ramp it up. And again. Yeah, and let's have a look what the problems are. Wow. So I can see just from the off a lot of rust on the knuckle cover, on the knuckle. So all this is going to have to come off. The cross member, right. Okay, there's a lot of problems. So let's get the wheel off. I'm just going to do the front first. Try and take everything off the front and then replace everything on the front before I then move on to doing the rear, just so it doesn't get too confusing. Drive axle, yeah, drive axle needs doing. Oh, always forget to take those bearings out. Oh. Just a case of dismantling all the different parts. Many bolts to come out. Tie rods. To get to the knuckle. So, it wants us to take each bushing out individually for some reason. I've never quite figured that out, why some parts you just take them off as one part, and that includes taking off all the bushings, etc. And yet then on other parts it requires like this, it requires you to manually remove each bushing. I don't quite understand why. I think the brake did perhaps there's no need to take the brakes apart actually. Oh, there is, because I need to take the knuckle off. Okay. Brake discs have got to come apart anyway, even though they don't need to, and that involves taking the bearing out. Knuckle cover, yeah, it needs replacing. Let's get the tie rod off. I should take the steering rack out. The sway bar and the shock absorber is going to have to come out. And that should allow us to take both parts of the suspension out. The knuckle, and then the cross member. I think that front sway bar is okay. Yes. So we now have no front end at all, but as far as I can tell, that's all potentially damaged parts. They're now removed. Okay, so I'm probably gonna skip this bit now because all I'm gonna do is buy the parts I need, and that's not especially exciting to watch. Okay, and hopefully the video should now cut back in if my editing skills are up to scratch. If not, then you've just sat through about 3 minutes of silence while I buy parts. So hopefully that hasn't happened. So, I should now have brought everything. So it's just a case of really reassembling the front end. Putting the knuckles back on, all the different little parts. Not everything needs to be replaced. I'm going to have to buy some more bushings probably. Well, I will have to. Certainly don't have enough. I didn't check this. No, that doesn't need to be replaced. Good. So I've hopefully brought everything that needs doing. If I've missed any parts, we'll just have to quickly get them from the shop. New knuckle cover. Should be the old hub, which it is. Remember the bearing. And a new drive axle, which I've only got one of, and I'm going to need two, I just saw. All the old pads and discs are okay, it's just the old caliper. Oh, I've just noticed, on a completely separate note, that the car has no radiator. That can't be beneficial for cooling. Okay, so I need some more bushings. Maybe unnecessary, but I just always replace the bushings because they're just so cheap and they just seem to be cause so many problems for me when I don't replace them and then I put a slightly different percentage bushing back in, and then that flags it as a problem and it thinks you've changed it and not put a 100% condition bushing back in. So I always just replace the bushings. Good. Like the steering rack should give the tie rod ends. Yep, in a tie rod and outer tie rod. I need another outer tie rod, and that will put the wheel. Okay, to do the wheels later. I didn't realise the wheels were knackered as well. So we've got about front steering knuckle C. Okay, have not brought one of them. Apologies. Front steering knuckle C. I also know we need an outer tie rod. So let's bung the steering knuckle back on and see what else I've forgotten. Jesus. Everything apparently. Oh, I'm doing myself a disservice amount of bushings again already. This is okay. The old sway bar can go back on. Did I need a new inner tie rod? No, that's fine. I thought I put a new steering rack on. Did I not? Oh. Okay. Just confused me there slightly for a moment. New outer tie rod. Bushings in which are old, which is annoying, but still. Then I pan the camera the wrong way. These are really easy to miss, these bushings in the crossmember, because you just don't expect them to be there. So, front axle knuckle cover. Front axle. See, so once I'm starting to get the hang of this game now, I'm starting to move a lot quicker. I know how to access the menus a lot quicker. Makes buying things quicker and easier. And I remember sort of the order of things, like to put the hubs and things in. Oh, front drive axle A. But I still can't remember to buy anything. Put that in. And then just the disc pads and calipers. Okay, and I think, yeah, again, I'm going to have to change the tyres on these, so I'll do all the wheels at the end. So I think in terms of the front, that is pretty much everything replaced. We've just, bar the actual sort of shock absorbers, it's entirely new, which is good. So then we need to have a quick look on what we've got left to do. So we're still missing some parts in the rear, so we've now got to do some things on the rear, solid control arm, and we've got the wheels. And obviously we noticed that there's no radiator earlier on, didn't we? So we can also get that sorted. So, it's basically a case of doing the same thing on the back now. So, rear wheels off. Wheel hub, that'll have to be replaced. One thing that occurred to me is... Yeah, okay, that's fine. I was just thinking it could get confusing, but I brought all those bushings that nicely separates it. Rear shock absorber, that looks pretty rusted, and it is. Then it's just the solid control arms, it's got the 2 leaf spring bolts. The plate, and then that bushing. Then it can come off. So I think the actual springs aren't too bad, hopefully. And then there's a bit of rust there, but I don't think the actual rear drive axle needs replacing, unless it's anything specifically that's been flagged. But I don't think so. So really, I think it's just a case of doing the same thing on the other side of the car. There's a lot less work needed on the rear. Yes, that knuckle's got to come off, so it's still brake calipers, pads and discs that all got to come off. How's that? Yeah, wheel hub needs to be replaced. Knuckle definitely needs to be replaced. Rear shock absorber. Remember to take the bushing out. And then the control arm's off. Brilliant. So now it's just a case of buying the bits we need, and then we should be rocking. How many leaf spring plates do I need? Yeah, okay. So leaf spring. I want 2 of these. 4 of these, 2 each side. 2 solid axle control arms. Oh, you don't want to forget the dash when you're searching that one, otherwise you can't pick it up. Then that, 2 rear shock absorber B. Rear shock. A lot easier to buy parts for the back, or particularly when there's not so much required. I think there was two wheel hub 3s and 2 rear axle Cs. Wheel hub 3, and then I think it was what? Not front steering, rear axle knuckle housing C. Rear axle knuckle housing C. 2 of them. Awesome. So we've now got the bits we got. Now got the bits we want. Just a case of quickly sticking them back on the car. Hopefully, shouldn't be too much of a problem to do. I forgot to get a few more bushings for the end of this control arm. There's just bushings, rubber. Just quickly buy a random amount of them to keep me stocked up. Oh, I've changed sides of the car. Back into mount mode. Bung a bushing on. Once you start to get into the swing of this game, it can be quite quickly bosh through some of these early missions. Disc, pads, caliper. I guess the rims also want to... no, okay. Yeah, so the rear wheels seem to be okay then. It seems to be just a case that it's just the front wheels that need to be replaced. It's good, saves a bit of time, because it takes quite a long time doing all the wheel balancing and everything and all that sort of stuff. Throw in the bushing. Bolt it in. The spring and the 2 sort of, bolts, holding bolts. And then just reassemble the brake assembly. So then I think we're just going to have to lower the car down, pop round to the front, sort out the radiator, as in put one in. How they even got here without a radiator, I'm not sure, since I'd have no coolant at all. Put that in, get that sorted, change the wheels over, and then I think, fingers crossed, we should be sorted on this mission. So, how are we looking? What have we missed? Rubber bushings. I've missed a bushing somewhere. And in a tie rod. Okay. Okay, so I've done a few things wrong. Let's first just sort out this radiator. Oh, it's a V8. Didn't realise that. So, radiator A. So this is what I mean with those faults that it seems to have developed. I think that's probably... Is there a housing? Fan housing. Where I've put parts back on at a very slightly different percentage to the ones I've taken off. You know, I've put the inner tie rod, which was on one side of the car, onto the other, side of the car, and then that causes problems. Hopefully that's the right fan, because I don't really know. So, once we've got it back up, or should we do the wheels? Let's do the wheels. So, separate parts. So it's only the tyres we need that are worn out. Let's just get these off quickly. Then we'll put new tyres on, smash them through the balance, and then get these on the front. And then it's just a case of sorting out these few problems, a few bits I've missed or have gone on in the wrong order. It's still a little bit buggy, the game, and I think, you know, this is largely the problem. So it wants to be off-road tyre B, 245, 45 on a 20 inch. Okay, gotta remember that now, 245, 45 on a 20 inch. 20 inch, 245 by 45, and I want 2 of them. An expensive mistake if I've got that wrong. Well, they fit on at least anyway. So let's get this on, and then I'll get this one set off on the wheel balancer. Take, because the wheel balancer takes the longest out of all these things. And I hate having to wait for it. Sorted. Take that tyre. Come on. Yeah, so I'm hopefully, my plan is to sort of keep upgrading my garage for the moment, and once I think I've just put the wrong bloody tyre on, and once it's fully upgraded, I'm then going to start doing sort of more of the barn find stuffs. I know I can do barn finds and fix up most of the mechanical parts and problems already, but I don't have access to things like the welder or the paint shop, so I'd only be able to repair sort of the parts, and not be able to actually fix any of the bodywork, and it just kind of seems pointless. If I can't restore the car back to 100% you know, condition and do it properly, then I'd rather just wait until I've got the garage fully sorted. So that's my plan at the moment, and then I'm going to start doing some restoration projects. So, wheels sorted. Let's just have a quick look and highlight the things that I haven't sorted. Only 2 things. Where are they? Okay, so the bushing. See, told you should replace the bushings. And an inner tyre rod. It's a bit random. See, even though that inner tyre rod is 62, which is, you know, absolutely fine, it flags it as being a problem for sort of no real reason. But hey ho, let's just stick a brand new one on there, and then it can't be a problem. Tyre rod, outer tyre rod, bolted on, and let's get these wheels back on. And then, should be job done, I think. Have I forgotten anything? Yeah, oh, I thought of something I've forgotten. Okay, so mechanically, the car is now sorted, but I've got to replace some body panels. So right rear door, front right door windows, right body window A, and right side mirror. Okay, let's lower this car down. So it's all on the right hand side, which, assuming that's front forward car hand side. Oh, okay, there is no window. Okay, that's interesting. So, let me just have a... right, I need to know what the car is then, don't I? So it's an Olsen Grand Club. I'm looking for windows and mirrors. So, let's see if I'm capable. I don't think I've ever brought anything from the body shop. So, I want an Olsen Grand Club front right door window. This is a bit confusing, isn't it? Right rear door window, that, and then I also want a right side mirror. Okay, so assemble. Put you. Install the windows and the rear window, and we are sorted. Awesome. Okay, so we've made it's about $4,000. Awesome. Well, hopefully that was useful to you guys, or sort of vaguely interesting. If there's any sort of questions or any feedback on the sort of the videos, what could be improved in the videos, etc. Just comment below. And if you enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate sort of subscription and a like and all that sort of stuff. So thank you, and I'll see you on the next video.